Now this is why I love film.
Over.
1917. Well, let me tell you. Oh boy. So 1917 technically came out at the very tail end of 2019. I say that it came out in 2019 just because, like, late December, it's that release just in that pocket so that it can qualify for the Oscars for 2019 and not have to wait until the end of 2020 when all the hype has died down. So I get that, but I didn't get to see it until very recently when it came out. In the first, January 10th, I think, was the national release. So I finally got a chance to see that. Saw it on 4DX, no less. So I got all the Regal 4DX shaky seats and the mist and water spraying and the smoke and explosions, all that fun stuff. So I got the whole shebang and shaboodle. But let me tell you, 1917, I'm not normally a big war movie guy. Like, I don't go out of my way to, like, I mean, yeah, sure, movies like Platoon and Saving Private Ryan, they've got their merits and all that. Like, I'm not saying war films aren't good. I'm just not typically a big war movie guy, but I guess you could say I've kind of come around. In any case, this movie, because people saw the trailers for it, and people that I've talked to that were apprehensive about seeing this movie have been hesitant for the fact that it's, they say it's a war movie. I'm like, I don't want to go to the movies to be depressed and see another war epic, but this movie is so much more than that. So 1917 is directed by Sam Mendes. If you don't know who he is, if you're not familiar with the name, that's understandable. His filmography actually includes, he did the last two Bond films. He did Skyfall and Spectre. He did, if you go further back in his filmography, he even directed American Beauty and Jarhead. He has a few notches on his belt. There weren't a lot of critically acclaimed hits, but there were enough in there where once I looked at his credits, I was like, oh, okay, so he's been in the game for this for like a minute. In the beginning of Spectre is one long continuous shot. Now, I don't know if all film buffs feel the same way that myself and my group of friends do, but I, for one, love when directors use long, continuous shots in film. I think it takes more skill. I think it takes more effort. So, suffice to say, I'm a fan of when film can implement that. The entirety of 1917 is like that. The entire film is almost entirely done in one shot. Now, you're able to hide some cuts in there, I'm sure, in like different action scenes or different like cuts or fade to black or something like that. But overall, almost the entirety of the film is like done like fluidly following one motion, follow, turn, pan, keep following. So it just keeps you in it and makes it feel more intimate, makes it look better, smoother, more intense. The film stars Dean-Charleschapman and George McKay as the leads, and the whole story is just, and it's all based off of real events, like what actually happened. But two fellas are tasked with the task of basically relaying a message, and these poor guys have got to go through like enemy-occupied territory and through these most dangerous conditions and terrible warfare and treacherous landscapes to go deliver this message, a Hail Mary attempt, because not only are 1,600 soldiers at risk, but one of the guys' brother is part of them. So he's like, well, shit, I gotta go there and do something. If I haven't made it clear, the film is shot immaculately. The acting, oh my god, I broke down a couple times in the theater. I don't mean like full-on sobbing or anything like that, but like I got teared up. This movie gets emotional and hits you with those beats pretty hard. Even when you can tell the actors are trying to be subdued in that sense, where, you know, they're trying to be strong soldiers, but there's still so much emotion they're able to convey. The special effects of warfare and like when there is violence, like any shootouts, gunfire. I mean, all the effects are nailed down. The acting is fantastic. The story is engaging, because even if you know how the story might end, if you're a big history buff, you're still like gripping your seat and along for the ride and just want to see. It's the journey, really, the journey that these two fellows go on and trying to get this one message across to this. That's the funny thing. It's very much like a Mad Max Fury Road situation. You have a film that has so much going on, but when you boil it down to it, it's just a simple plot. You're going from A to B. That's all it is. But it's not obviously the film isn't just, you're not like, oh, it's just, they're going here to here, but it's all about that journey and about the people that are like having to do this. And they nail the accuracy and the realism of being in this wartime situation to like a scary level. They pay homage and respect to all the soldiers that died during these fights and sacrificed their lives for their country, and all the ones who are just fighting just to try to help others, and like the selfless acts that these people did and put themselves in the line of fire just to hopefully save others, which, I mean, you watch the film for yourself to discover. A quick Google search will tell you. But yeah, in case you didn't tell, I really loved this film. I honestly struggle to find anything wrong with it. This is I really wish that's why I think I prefaced all these reviews by saying I'm going to review every movie I see in 2020, and or I go to see in theaters. Technically, this was a 2019 release, but for the sake of this, it came out everywhere in 2020. So yeah, when it comes down to it, 1917, if you were on the fence about this movie, if you're not normally a fan of war movies, like preconceived notions aside, set those aside, this isn't 100% a war movie. You're not going to go see Midway and watch the Battle for Pearl Harbor. It's really an intimate story about these two soldiers that are trying to go do this impossible task and the journey they go along with it. It's just a very harrowing journey overall, but I would 100% recommend you go see this film in theaters. It deserves that. I saw it in 4DX. If you want to really be immersed and you care about like the quality of what you're seeing, I recommend like check it out IMAX maybe or RPX just to kind of really like see it. At the same time, if you're not a big movie theater person, I mean, still like rent it. I'm going to buy it when it comes out like on 4K and Blu-ray, all that good stuff. But I would 100% recommend 1917, and for that reason, first one of the year, folks, I give 1917 a rating of 5 out of 5. Honestly, it's I get wary when I use terms like perfection when it comes to describing cinema, because if you really dig deep enough, you can always, if you dig deep enough in any movie, any show, you're going to find flaws. Nothing can be perfect. The perfect lap. Nothing can be perfect. But for the sake of my personal opinion, in terms of I see this film, I'm going through it, it checks all the boxes for me for what I think makes a quality, fantastic film, and I can't really find any negative drawbacks. This movie's pacing was great, the story was good, the emotion was good, the acting, I'm saying good, everything was fantastic, what I just said. Cinematography, the direction, costume design, the acting, the orchestra, the sound design, like everything about this movie hit it out of the park. I don't have any complaints. Now, if you really hate wartime or you don't want to get emotional over this and everything, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I guess everybody can find a reason not to like a film. But in terms of 1917, if you like films, you like movies, and you want a good quality movie that's going to have some action, but it's going to be drama, it's going to be nerve-wracking, going to be intense, emotional, I highly recommend going to see 1917. It's still in theaters. It'll be in theaters, I assume, for at least another month or so. So y'all got plenty of time now, you hear? So go check it out. Again, I give 1917 a 5 out of 5, and that's my review. I loved that movie. So yeah, not much else to say from there. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got a couple more requests coming in. I still got to review another movie that I did go see in theaters recently. That'll be coming up next week probably, but I will, for anybody who's sending requests for movie reviews, I assure you, if I've seen them, I will get around to reviewing them. If I haven't seen them, I'll give it a watch and I'll review it and I'll post it for you as per request. But in the meantime, thank you guys and gals so much for watching. Even though the views aren't in the hundreds or thousands or anything crazy like that, the support I've received from the few people that have given me support and accolades for these has been great, heartwarming. To receive requests and know that there are people out there that give a damn about any of this and care about my opinion enough, or they put enough stock in my opinion on a film. Well, they'll be like, oh, well, seeing what you say about this film will dictate whether or not I go see it. Like, that says a lot. That's a lot of trust you're putting in me, and I appreciate you. Granted, these are just my opinions, but I really appreciate that. It's very kind. And yeah, I'll keep doing these for the year. Like I said, every movie in 2020 I see, there'll be a review for it. And if you got more for me, like I said, throw them my way. But that was my review for 1917. Go see it. Thank you guys and gals so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next movie that I review. And goodbye. Oh, and wait. Oh, him. Goodbye, travelers.